Good evening, my name is Tshila. Welcome to the program Backstage, the official access to the main stage. I hope you can hear us loud and clear wherever you're tuning in from. If you're tuning in from Vic Falls, you can catch us on 106.5, Masvingo 96.1, Kamativi Wange 105.1, Marondera, my hometown 106.4, Chitumbiza 106.4. If you're tuning in from Chivu 99.8, and tonight on the program, it's gonna be epic. Joining us on tonight's Backstage, we've got Sista Xapa. And I've been trying to get hold of Sista Xapa for a very, very, very long time. And Sista Xapa comes not to speak of the truth, but of the obstacles to the truth. Welcome to the program.
Greetings, Zimbabwe. Greetings, everybody in Zimbabwe. This is a Xapa time. This is where it's going to get hot.
I can't wait, I can hardly wait. Also joining us on the program tonight is one of the finest voices in dancehall music in Zimbabwe, Dobba. Welcome to the program.
Yo, I'll be a 45 shootings are going. Straight up. Yeah, man.
Our third guest is Sekuru Tozi. Sekuru Tozi, now I'm going to you know, you got held up.
Got held up by something, but all the same, Jah is always providing and protecting, you know. First and foremost, I want to say greetings to all the massive out there from the beautiful, mighty little nation of Zimbabwe. I love you all.
And our last guest is the king of comedy himself, Doc Vikela.
Yeah, man, yeah, man, Wagwan, Zimbabwe, pompa, fried rice and chicken, yeah.
Welcome to the program, Doc. What movie you? Now, no sending me a good timpo. Why you?
Is you in the Nishaka to Namago?
Sakamagara, Wagarana, Nimgumo, Baba. Sista Xapa, before we go in here, there's so many questions that I want to ask you. But there's this piece of yours, I think it will answer a lot of my questions. You know, I just want Zimbabwe to hear this. I want to share this with everyone. I want Zimbabwe to feel what I felt when I heard this piece for the first time. Ladies, don't be so daft.
Yeah, this is comedy. You know, Zimbabwe, I am a poetess. That means that I deal strictly with the love of words, with rhyme. But I think sometimes we take ourselves too seriously, and this one is coming with humor, because humor is one of the best ways we learn. And I just hope you find this one funny, and I hope you enjoy it. This one is called Don't Be Daft, and it goes out with love to those women who were in the newspaper photographed as witches, standing holding their chiseros. Listen up, everybody. This goes out with love to every woman who's been called a witch. Here we go. If I ever saw any witches in flight, hovering on baskets in the dead of the night, I would tell them, ladies, please don't be so daft. Forget about witching. Concentrate on the raft. Green transport's the secret the scientists all seek. With these flying baskets, you'd get rich real quick. If you filed a patent, if you opened shop, etiquette sales round the planet would flop. Your raft's made from material that's freely available and widely accessible, both lightweight yet durable and totally biodegradable. Incredible. You would end airplane crashes, train wrecks and car smashes, traffic jams, parking blues. You could name any price that you choose. If I ever saw any witches in flight, hovering on baskets in the cold grey moonlight, I'd say, ladies, these rafts should be mass-produced. Expand your SMEs for public use. If you call in the scientists to upgrade and refine, work with the experts to improve the design. When your raft's waterproof, shockproof, and its fuel source is foolproof, your bank balance will fly through the roof. You would cut carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, and everyone worldwide would be happy to hop on your ride. I'll tell them, ladies, please don't be so daft. Forget about the witching. Concentrate on the raft.
Sekuru Tozi,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Oh, brilliant, brilliant.
You know, because this concept of Rusero, I mean, if it could be commercialized.
Yeah, for real, we've been saying that many times,
For the benefit of everyone.
Of the nation, or of the continent, or the world at large.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Women have got skills. Men don't understand it, so they call it witchcraft.
See, interesting. I understand you have just finished working on a book. Would you like to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, you know, everybody, I know a lot of you guys, you know me as being a poet who does things that are black conscious. You know me as a poet who really comes out about women's issues. But women are so tightly bound to nature. You can't carry a baby if you're not in tune with Mother Nature. So, you know, the nature and the natural, we have to really fight for this. Because, you know, the future needs to know, needs to experience, to have the full liberty, the fullness of the earth. And if our generation is just playing footloose and destroying things, what are we really leaving for the future? So I've written this environmental book, but I've written it all in poetry, in verse. And you guys are going to flip when I bring it out. It's amazing.
Do you have maybe a piece from the book that you can sample for us tonight?
Okay, this one started off first as just a poem, and then because I did it for my grandchildren and they loved it and asked me to expand it. It's called The 9th Day of Creation. We said God created the world in 6 days, then he rested. Then we had other time, and I believe we are now living in the 9th day of creation. And you know, Tshila, we're talking about poetry. I went to a poetry workshop and they said to all the people, I was the only grandmother there. Everybody else was really young,
Okay.
you know. And the person giving it said to us, you mustn't use shin all the time, because that's not poetry. And I just thought the creative rebel in me woke up and I said, I'm going to do a poem that's got shin, shin, shin.
All right.
So this goes out to all the creative people who've got that creative rebel. And it's called The 9th Day of Creation. There was water even before there was light. Before the sun burst out to burn so bright, water was there. Before there was air or sky anywhere, before there was land anywhere, water was there. It fed the first plants, it birthed the first beasts. It's the basis, the axis of life that now exists. And when the first word was spoken, the first breath exhaled, across the face of the deep, creation's wind sailed, pure energy in motion, on the rough, dark space ocean. Some wind racing faster than thought, some stilled, for the lifetime borrowed breath has been sought. All wind knows the source whence they were exhaled. All in good time they will return there, inhaled. But life followed light when it divided night on the first day, when the first ray quit the darkness, lit this darkness, so that life itself could come forth, so that life could continue its growth. Then above from below the waters were split. The bowl of the sky is what caused the rift. It divided the divisible, became home of the invisible. Water vapor that rose from the sea had space to reform as salt-free. Fresh water, sweet water could come down as rain, and gases that vanish had a place to remain around here as the gas sphere of the atmosphere. Then the Garden of Eden was no longer hidden when continents left watery graves. On new land plants rolled in green waves before man came to name them and tame them and eat them and treat them like game. Creatures and plants were free to run wild.
Your home must be such a very old
After
place.
mankind, desolation. After mankind, annihilation, soil erosion and land degradation, bird and beast extermination, all the plant life in extinction, atmospheric pollution, deadly solar radiation, bird and beast extermination. After mankind, desolation. After mankind, annihilation. Unless the ninth day of creation is a day of total restoration. After mankind, desolation. After mankind, annihilation.
I was catching on to the sheni.
So how you feel about using shin in poetry now, Tshila?
I'm actually amazed. You know, the way your daughter, by the way, Sister Yara is here in the studio. The way your daughter was looking at you, it was like she was seeing you, you know, like when a child is looking at their mother for the first time. You know, your home must be a very, very, very warm place.
Yeah, man, the queen go and rip things up, everything, crisp and cook and curry, everything for another level.
Yeah,
And I could notice the humor in your work, and in the studio tonight we've got one of the best comedians, Dr. Vikela.
Yeah.
Yeah, hooked onto the sheni. You know, like creation. She was talking about creation, and I've always said that, you know, it's crazy how the story of creation has been told in different ways. I mean, look at the Garden of Eden. If the first woman in the Garden of Eden was a black woman, I think things wouldn't have gone down the way they went down. Because no black woman would stand on the side of a talking snake. Never. She was still there.
This is creation.
Yeah, it's great. So I'm hooked onto the sheni.
Shen.
Yeah, I'm going to do a set in my next show of using shen only. Jokes with sheni.
That's exactly why you are here. You know, content for your next show.
Exactly.
So what have you been working on?
So many things, eh? 20. We're in 20 what?
16.
Yeah, 16, yeah. 2016 has been
My
great.
age.
You're 26 years old.
16.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I think 2016 has been great. 2015 was a busy year, and this guy is just touching my microphone. Disturbing my shame. Really. So this year we have big plans. I have 2 big specials that I'm doing at Allianz, and then the other one at Reps. Also, I'm traveling a lot. As you are aware that we have been put in the top 10 what African.
Really?
Yes, I was listed as one of the top 10 African acts to watch for 2016. So it's now opening doors. You have South Africa, Namibia, Nigeria, even London. You have even Australia. So we're looking at exploring.
My passport is.
Wow.
No, no, sharp. Everything is sharp.
Is your work online? Can people find your work online?
Yeah, there are a few videos online.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't been putting them online because, you know, with the comedies, those jokes, they get refined over time, man. So when the jokes are now perfect, like what I'm doing, I'm recording in March. So when I record those small videos, will complement about 15 that are already on YouTube. Yeah, so it's, even the one we're doing for Valentine, we also want to record that and put it online also.
All right. Dobba,
Yeah, man.
welcome to Backstage, man.
Yeah, man.
The first song that did it for me was Mdendere.
Yeah, man.
What was the process like, composing this tune?
Meditations ndifunda tona jaja. So I don't know mwari chaiwo chaiwo. Because ndakadorara ndona vision. Ndona chetacho. Ndona vision ndikunda kunoti ndimbe song yakadai so. Because mudindi rimaturarama. Ndio munyika muno. Wotesa kuti earth is a globe. Matesa dende ine shape rinenge globe mona. Samanje pandakaimba manje ndakaona kuti mararamira tikuita mazuva ano nowadays hapana munhu asingadi noenda kumberi. Kana mwana mudiki chaicho anotoda kuti muwe choti alife chichimeketa pazvinozongotadzawo nokuda kuti situation get to live it and everything is
When you were growing up, did you ever realize that you could have this much impact?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Me did that tell me mother about it. Yeah, man. Mash up the thing there. Care away for the things. God blessings. Yeah, man.
I understand you were in England recently. You were doing some shows.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
What was the experience like?
Everything nice. Yeah, man. The people, the man of the thing. So care away for the things. Yeah, man.
All right.
Janu.
So are you dancehall music or Zim dancehall?
Well, I'm a dancehall artist. Yeah, man. In a Zim dancehall thing. I like the type of instrumental, type of rhythm they want to give. You see me? But when me dip on a dancehall rhythm, yeah, man, I feel it in a art. Yeah, man, straight shootings are going over this. What
issues does your music address? What do you talk about in your music?
Well, me talk about the live it in the ghetto. Yeah, man, things that we face in the ghetto yard. And me did a bag of tunes about love. Yeah, man. Love. About love and Jah guidance, Jah love, yeah, man. You see me that? So, me know everything said. Good message to the people then. Yeah, man.
And now that you are a role model and there's a lot of young people and elderly people who also listen to you, does that influence the way you compose your music?
Yeah,
you write your music?
That inspires and that. Cause the more the people they must say them love music, yeah, man, keep on running things. Yeah, man, care if you do things. You see me?
What did you feel when Sister Xapa was performing first
yeah,
piece?
Man. Yeah, man, feel airy. Yeah, man, me love it. A blessed me sister. Yeah,
I would love to see a collaboration.
Yeah, man.
Between the two of you.
Yeah, man.
Scandalous!
I'd love to see a collaboration between the two of you. Sekuru Tozi, you have to open up with a piece.
Oh, by the way, give thanks, my king, give thanks. I'll open up with a piece, a brilliant piece. This piece is powerful because it talks about things that are happening right now, right? Over the news throughout the day, I heard them talk about cancer, coming in, half them products we use in the hospitals, and the drinks and all that, all them things. So this poem I have here is something related to exactly what one. So we want to talk about things, that prevail so that the nation takes care of them things then come from Babylon them. This thing is called the beginning of the end. Do you see the symbol? Do you see the idol? The sound of these words behind the twisted words. The music is the noise that get we hypnotized. You hear that? Yeah. Why don't you stop the fidget, or else we miss the digit? Why drink the wines? Don't you see the signs? Look around you. Got more than just a few. Close one eye. Can you see the devil and all his earthly evil? We all in the mix because of 666, the #1 beast. With them, we always fist. Selassie. Look out, look out. The beginning of the end. You better take a stand. Look out, look out. The eye, the six, the symbol, and the ida. Them get you hypnotized, so you better get wise. Illumination, abomination, lucification. It's all about the devil. Here comes the Cation and thing. Selassie. Pandidala is a little pyramid there with a eye in the middle. I thought we all knew, because this is not new. Lucifer, Satan, Panya Fashion, in your passion, your message, your baggage, your luggage, wherever, all over. Selassie, look out, the beginning of the end. You better take your stand. Look out, the eye, the six, the symbol, and the idol, the wines and the signs. Them get you hypnotized, so you better get wise. Selassie. Them eat people. Some of them swallow them soul. Some abort them children and dump them in the drain. Some rape infants and still feel like parents. Some talk about the church, but the truth is they lack research. The level of corruption is a clear indication of the beginning of the end. Selassie.
Yeah, man.
Sekuru Tozi, what is the ideology behind your work?
Well, the ideology behind my work is uplifting the position of black people through word. Because word is very powerful. Like we all know, even biblically it says, it started as the word, right? Yeah, man. So, through poetry, it's one of the best catalysts to expound and, spread around the message.
Yeah.
Right? But with dog poetry, we have developed dog poetry, those who do dog poetry, we have developed dog poetry in a sense that is meant to enhance it and avoid making poetry a still act, right? So with rhythm and the voice, oh my bridging, poetry becomes just something. Yeah, man.
Yeah. I've got a question for Sister Xapa. If you were to meet God in person today, what question would you want to ask him?
I'd like to ask God so many things, but in particular I would like to ask God, how were you so wonderful to us that we have everything and yet we don't know it? So how can you give us all this and yet you didn't give us the brain to handle it?
Yeah.
Because we were given everything, and then look, every time I switch on, I wrote this poem, which is actually what I was thinking on those lines, which says, babies bombed when still in the womb, the flower of humanity never to bloom, blood rain causing continental drought, the soul of this planet is dying out on our airwaves, our microlinks, our satellites. What are we doing to each other? What are we doing to the planet? What are we really doing? I'd love to ask God, you should have given us the brain the size of an elephant so that we can handle this planet.
Dog Vikela, I'll pose the same question to you. If you were to meet God in person today, what question would you ask him or her or it?
I'll ask God a simple question. I want him to do accents. Like I'll say, God, can you just talk like a patois? Because I don't think I want him to talk like an Indian. Like, hey, how are you talk? I want him to talk like patois, like, yeah man, me feeling gonna be that, yeah man. I want him to talk in every accent so that it makes sense. I want him to talk like an auctioneer. You ever heard auctioneers talk? Imagine someone like that meeting Sister Xapa, or yeah man, me I read me horny. Okay.
Dobba Don,
Yeah, man.
what would you want to ask God if you ever had an opportunity to meet God?
My first creation would come like, why did you create Satan?
And there's silence. We all fear Satan.
No, we don't fear Satan.
Because the silence, like you.
Sekuru Tozi, what question would you have for God?
The biggest question that I would have for God is, God, if I were to ask you, would we have no flaw on this planet? And hear what him say.
See.
Yeah, man.
We're going to do a little something before we go. We've just run out of time. We always run out of time on Backstage, you know. So I'm going to ask Sister Xapa if she's got a question for Dobba Don.
Yeah, first of all, don't say Xapa, you have to say Xapa. Xapa. Yeah, I have a question for him. I would like to ask him about who was his greatest influence musically. That's what I'd like to ask him.
Well, Bob Marley.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Bob Marley.
That's
What question do you have for Sekuru Tozi?
Sekuru Tozi.
yeah, man.
Right about now. You can move on, Mr.
All right,
Think about it.
let's go to Dog Vikela. Question for Sekuru Tozi.
So, Sekuru Tozi, where does your inspiration come from to create such deep poetry?
My inspiration comes from the Almighty Creator. I think nothing more than that.
For Dog Vikela.
Dr. Vikela. A question?
A question, yes.
All right, Dr. Vikela.
Tell us a joke.
Tell us a joke. Would you tell us a joke right now?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm starstruck. There are so many stars in here. I can't really know who to pick on. I normally pick on people when I'm doing my jokes. Aaron Athesia is in the house. Beautiful as usual, you know. Yeah. Okay, so I've always wondered. I think we all know Suleiman Chimbeto, and you know, like I'm a fan. Like the guy talks like, like, does he talk like that at home? Imagine him, Manaka, failing school. Oh, I did not number 39. Thank you so much. I want to go to school.
Vikela, thank you. Thanks, guys. We have come to the end of our program. Thank you for coming through. Sister,
Yeah,
did I do it?
oneness, love, and unity.
Dobba Don, thanks
Yeah,
for
man,
coming
bless
through.
you.
And
Yeah,
Sekuru
man.
Tozi,
Give thanks, give
Vikela.
thanks,
I got
man.
3 hours for backstage.
And did
So when my placards, but
That's it,
ZiFM,
that's it.
30 minutes must fall.
My name is Tshila. We've come to the end of our program. Join us again next week for another edition of Backstage, the official access to the main stage. Stand by for the news at 9, and after that, it's Judgment Yard.